Okay, folks, welcome to the pre-US look ahead. It's Wednesday, the 8th of March, 2023. So we had Fed's Jerome Powell yesterday out at his Senate committee hearing and very hawkish. So reiterating that the Fed are ready to stand by their word and remain hawkish. Really are looking at 50 basis point hikes in the next meeting, stepping up from what was presumed to going to be 25 basis point hikes. But really, it's quite, we sold down really well yesterday, about 1.5% down on average across these three major US markets. I've actually chosen to work the DAX the past couple of weeks instead of US equities, given the sheer breadth of the US equities markets taking out highs and lows later in the session. So it's very hard to hold positions intraday on these equities if you want to be getting into trades or in around here for 1 or 2 days or even a longer term than that. Why did we sell down yesterday? Because the market was expecting that the Fed would remain a little bit dovish, but that was very hard to hold on to as a concept, given that we've seen inflation start to peak its head again around the corner, starting with, I think, last week in Spain, the CPIs came out about 8.1% beat on expectations. So then we saw it come out in the US. Anyway, the market is starting to really feed on these recessionary talks. And the main reason for me why we're selling down is that the market now isn't really sure about where the terminal rate is and when thus the Fed will stop hiking. Okay, so whereas before, when we started the hiking cycle, we were looking at March 2023 at a 4.75 terminal rate. It's now 5.25, maybe 5.5. Morgan Stanley, I think, or Goldman Sachs have come out saying terminal could be 6%. We don't really know, and we're not really going to know until we get to the next FOMC meeting. But the big one on the horizon, today's second seating for Jerome at the FOMC, at the Senate hearing. While it's going to be interesting, I think the markets don't really have anything more to take from what he's going to say, because he's really put a statement out yesterday. So the market now, the big thing coming, and this is probably going to be the biggest one of the year, NFP on Friday. I saw one of the major banks coming out. There might be a miss of 1 million jobs on this reading. I don't really want to pay too much respect to those sort of concepts. But we're really teed up now for a very, very, very hot NFP this Friday. Okay, so if we come out at a big beat, it's really going to feed into a more aggressive Fed stance, and really we're going to have to then price in fully a 50 basis point hike in the markets. How are equities going to take that in? I think they're going to sell down, but I think generally then we're going to really test the bulls and see. Do they want to price in? Well, what do they want to price in then for like 6 months down the line? Okay, and the answer is we don't know, because we don't really know where terminal rate is right now. So I think good data, bad data. I think we're going to sell down on this NFP on Friday initially. All right. So with that all said, let's get over to these markets and see what we're looking at. So. All right, let's start off with the S&P. We'll go left to right, actually. We'll start off with NASDAQ. So yesterday we had some pretty decent areas we were looking at here on the trend and our technical look forward every day at 145. We initially sold down right onto this area on the trend here, okay? Right here, and then bang, back up to P-Val, and then sold down into new lows throughout the rest of the session. Okay, today we're really not doing well. We're barely holding on below P-Val at the moment. I think we're going to do a bit of this for the rest of today. You're seeing on the daily chart here on the right, you're seeing this bull flag. We have broken out there 2 days ago in the bull flag, selling down yesterday. This sort of chart would tell me, okay, fine. The market's pricing in 50 basis point hike at the next meeting. We've sold down. All right, fine. Get that out of the way. We don't care, and we're going to rally. That could happen now. That could happen, all right? So, I'm kind of jawboning the market in a way, but what could happen is we pull down, kiss the 200 daily EMA, and then we hold on the breakout on the bull flag. Because at some point, we are going to have to break away from this bull flag, right? We've been trending down outside the channel. We are going to have to go for 12,650s. Okay, so it's just a question of, does the market want to do that before the next FOMC? I don't know. I think we could kind of hold in this sideways area until then. NFP, of course, is going to be a big one. Maybe we do get that sell down to the 200 EMA on Friday and then find buyers to keep on going back up. So that's something that we will look out for here in Duggan Capital. Similar stuff on the SPOOs to be accounted for. Really, here we are in the daily bars. Here is the line, the trend. All right. And yesterday, selling down just like the NASDAQ. We are, essentially we're at the fulcrum point here on this pennant, if you like, right? This pennant here. And so we've kind of broken out 2 days ago or 3 days ago, selling down yesterday. Can the market lift out of here? Can it do that? I don't know. I don't think so. I'm currently short DAX. I'm currently trying to get scaled in on shorts for the swing lower on DAX. And so really what I'd be saying is that we go down. And so, that's really what I think. I think we're definitely going to have to trade 39.66 halves, a very big area as it was traded back here in December in this area. And then on the Dow, interesting stuff on the Dow. So let's look at this supply and demand area. So this was green. This big area here was the big demand area. You saw demand coming in there in late December, January. Then we came down late Feb below. We saw one great day last Friday coming in here. 3 o'clock candle on the 30-minute. We found support in the top of that demand area. Bang, up we go, and to close out on the week high. But look what happened yesterday. Bada bing, bang, boom. Down we go through the area there. Okay, down, selling down, right? Bit of this. And now look where we're holding. So demand area has become supply area, if you like. So the supply of contracts going to come into the market. Supply, obviously overwhelming demand will lead to lower prices. And we're just holding there in APAC this morning. So, but we're holding on the lows on the P-Val. But if you ask me, I think we'll probably come up, have a look at 33.018 and then sell down from there. So yeah, I mean, the US equities markets are extremely difficult to hold positioning in at the moment. You see on the daily bars here, a little bit of retracement should be on the cards, but really maybe only the 33.018 and then we go down. All right, so yeah, do keep an eye out for that on US equities. Oil, I mean, it's just it selling down basically yesterday on that more hawkish Fed stance. I don't think there's any sort of crude fundamental that was a driver here, to be honest, to the downside. And so, we gapped down on the reopen on electronic trade. As for that gray area, the gap then quickly closed. And we're just kind of really going sideways here. I think we need to go to 75.96s, pick up the buyers again here, as we did here last week over those UAE leaving OPEC comments. And thanks to Ollie for keeping me in the know on that one as I was in the delivery room. So yeah, we could easily maybe even look for 76.28s for the supports and then look for higher. And really, if anyone wants to send me an email and tell me when are the bonds going to dislocate their positive correlation from equities, I would much appreciate further insight on that. But at the moment, the bond not able to hold the P-Val right here. I am long the low of day, but it's just not looking great as equities just can't hold get their head any higher above APAC right now. So keeping an eye on the VIX as well. Huge update for the VIX yesterday. But yeah, we'll look at all this in fine detail at 1:45 every day in the Duggan Capital Discord room. So if you're not in, you can't win, oil essentially. Value. All right, listen, have a good session, and I'll talk to you all later. All right, ciao.
And that's all, folks.